I've got to be honest, this weekend just got way more interesting than I ever expected. And I'm not talking a little. This is the kind of shakeup that can completely change the story heading into Martinsville. Out of nowhere, we're seeing not one, but two major driver changes happening at the same time, and both of them say a lot about what's going on behind the scenes in NASCAR right now. This isn't just about filling seats, it's about opportunity, pressure, and some serious questions about what teams are thinking moving forward. One of these moves, in particular, completely caught me off guard. If you're the kind of fan who follows more than just the races, driver moves, team strategies, all the behind-the-scenes drama, you're definitely going to want to stick around for this one. And hey, if you're new here, smash that like button and hit subscribe. We're just getting started on RACE Plus TV, chasing our first 1,000 subscribers, and it's all about real NASCAR fans talking NASCAR the way it should be. Alright, let's start with the first move, and it involves one of the busiest drivers in NASCAR right now, Ross Chastain. If you've been following this season closely, you know Chastain has basically been everywhere. He's been racing anything he can get his hands on in 2026. Just recently, he pulled off a second-place finish in the Truck Series at Darlington with Nice Motorsports, and on top of that, he made another Xfinity start with JR Motorsports in the part-time number 9 Chevrolet, finishing a respectable 14th. Solid, considering how competitive that field is. But here's where things get really interesting. That number 9 car is back this weekend at Martinsville, but Chastain isn't driving it. JR Motorsports is putting Lee Pulliam in the seat, and honestly, this is the kind of move that makes you stop and say, wait, what? Pulliam, 37, from Samora, North Carolina, is a legend in short-track racing, 4-time NASCAR Wellen All-American Series Division I national champion, and 3 wins in the car's late-model stock car tour. The guy is no joke. But here's the kicker. His experience in the NASCAR National Series is basically non-existent in recent years, just 6 starts back in 2014 inches the K and N Pro Series East. This is a huge leap. Don't worry, though Chastain isn't out of the picture. He's still racing this weekend at Martinsville, just with a completely different team. He'll be driving the No. 91 Chevrolet for DGM Racing in partnership with Jesse Iwuji Motorsports. That makes this his 3rd different team in just 4 Xfinity starts this season. Wild, right? And it doesn't stop there. Chastain already has 2 more races lined up later this year. Watkins Glen in May and Sonoma in June, driving for Jordan Anderson Racing, the same team he ran with earlier this season at Atlanta and COTA. Here's something important that many fans might overlook. The rules have changed. Full-time Cup drivers with more than 3 years of experience can now run up to 10 Xfinity races per season. That used to be capped at 5. So don't be surprised if Chastain jumps back in the number 9 car later this year. This feels more like a rotation than a permanent replacement, but giving Pulliam this shot at Martinsville, that's huge. Short track guy, it could be genius. Or it could be a steep learning curve. Now, the second story also caught my attention, and it involves veteran driver J.J. Yeley. This guy's been around forever, attempting to make 2026 his 22nd Cup Series season and 23rd in NASCAR national competition. J.J. Yeley's career is pure longevity insane, really. He attempted the Daytona 500 with NY Racing Team but didn't qualify, yet came back the very next week at Atlanta and made it happen. Since then, he hasn't been in the Cup car, but he stayed active in the Xfinity Series. He ran at COTA with Young's Motorsports, where Brad Perez had to step in mid-race, finishing 28th. Then Yeley returned at Darlington with Hettinger Racing and finished 25th. Now, here's where things get really chaotic. Hettinger Racing's No. 5 Ford has been a literal revolving door this season. Luke Fenhouse, Tyler Gonzalez, Chandler Smith, all have taken turns behind the wheel. And for Martinsville, they're adding yet another name. Yeley is out for this weekend, and in comes Luke Baldwin, 19 years old, making his Xfinity Series debut. And again, this is the kind of move that makes you sit up and say, wow, I need to see this. Baldwin has only run 5 Truck Series races, all in 2025, with Thor Sport Racing. His best finish was 12th at Pocono, and he already has some experience at Martinsville, finishing 22nd there. So, he's not walking in completely blind but stepping into an Xfinity car at one of the toughest short tracks on the schedule. That's a serious test. Just like the Chastain Pulliam story, there's no long-term clarity here. Hettinger Racing hasn't confirmed a full-time plan or locked-in driver beyond this race. So even though Yelly is out this weekend, don't count him out for future races. This is clearly a team experimenting, trying different drivers, seeing what sticks. And honestly, as a fan, it's thrilling but a little chaotic. Because when you look at both of these stories together, it tells a bigger story about the Xfinity series right now. You've got experienced Cup drivers like Chastain bouncing between teams, maximizing every opportunity under the new rules. At the same time, teams are giving short-track veterans like Pulliam and young prospects like Baldwin a chance to shine. Martinsville is the perfect stage for this mix. Short track, tempers flare, mistakes happen, and sometimes new names make a statement. So heading into this weekend, it's not just about who wins, it's about how these drivers perform. Will Pulliam shock everyone in the number 9? Can Baldwin hold his own in his debut? And what ripple effects will these moves have for the rest of the season? These decisions don't end at Martinsville, they echo into future races, future rides, maybe even careers. And that, right there, is what makes this moment so fascinating. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about these moves? Are you excited to see new drivers getting a shot? Or do you think teams should stick with the more experienced names? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Race Plus TV. We're just getting started, chasing our first 1,000 subscribers. And if real, behind-the-scenes NASCAR talk is your thing, you're going to feel right at home here.